Hello, my fellow sexy, sassy, saucy, limitless HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? How's it going? Let's get to the basic, bitch. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below. They're in the screens that just went by. I have 2 channel memberships. Hear me out in the titles. The exclusive lives group is the group I go live with on Tuesday evenings. The hot seat / group coaching is the group I go live with them 9 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. If you join the hot seat group, you get access to both channel memberships. 2 for the price of 1, just making that clear. Also, I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Clapper, and I would love for you to follow me everywhere. If you're new here, how you doing? I'm Kimberly, and I am obsessed with law of assumption, manifestation. I am obsessed with it. Why am I obsessed with it? Because it has completely changed my life. Changed my life. I was a very miserable and happy girl in the past. I was, and I really didn't like my life. And this manifestation shit that we're actually doing all the time, whether we're aware or not, has utterly changed my life. So if you're new, welcome, because I'm going to judge you. I'm going to make you feel good. I make everybody feel good. Okay? Thank you for being here. But if you're here, why don't you give me a subscribe? And everybody else, how about a like? Help a bitch out. Let's get those videos out there to other peeps. Get more people in our fellowship of HBICs. If you're new here, HBIC is head bitch in charge of your reality. Okay? I need to warn you that my neighbor is doing yard work outside. So we're going to hear machines. We're going to hear machines. So what we're going to talk about today is a video, to be honest, that I recorded not too long ago, but I want to touch this subject again because over the last few months, since my own specific person has been here daily, and daily because he had an injury and had to have surgery, and, you know, his recovery time was spent with me. So I have experienced this firsthand. Now, I'm going to get into detail, but so I want to talk more about the law of thought transmission. And, you know, the perspective of this is, you know, how we're manifesting, right? Especially when we're manifesting a specific person. However, let me just say, every single manifestation comes through somebody else. So like that law of thought transmission is being utilized really at all times. But in this community, we tend to keep it focused on specific person, but it's on everyone, right? We're all one consciousness, one. We're all connected, okay? All right, so let's talk about the law of thought transmission. I'm going to read you something. Now listen. Your beliefs, your fixed attitudes of mind constantly modify your consciousness as it is reflected on the mirror of your mind. Your consciousness, modified by your beliefs, objectifies itself in the conditions of your world. To change your world, you must first change your conception of it. To change a man, you must change your conception of him. You must first believe him to be the man you want him to be, and mentally talk to him as though he were. All men are sufficiently sensitive to reproduce your beliefs of them. Therefore, if your word is not reproduced visibly in him toward whom it is sent, the cause is to be found in you, not in the subject. As soon as you believe in the truth of the state affirmed, results follow. Everyone can be transformed. Every thought can be transmitted, and every thought can be visibly embodied. Subjective words, subconscious assumptions awaken what they affirm. They are living and active and shall not return unto me void, but shall accomplish that which I please and shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent them. They are endowed with the intelligence pertaining to their mission and will persist until the object of their existence is realized. They persist until they awaken the vibratory correlates of themselves within the one toward whom they are directed. Okay, so why did I read you all that? I know on this journey, when you are actively affirming, visualizing, scripting, inner conversating with your specific person, and then when you don't see action in the 3D, the instant place most of us go is, this doesn't work. It's not working because they didn't take action, right? Now, I agree with you. On the early days of my journey, that would frustrate the hell out of me, and it would make it very difficult for me to trust that this is working, but this is working. Oh, this is working. The thing is this, when we are in one moment deciding to experience something with a specific person, so wanting to bring them into our world, to be in that loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, when we desire that, when we're actively deciding to be the new self, the version of ourselves that has the manifestation, right? We're becoming anew. We're changing ourselves to then experience what we want out here. But a lot of us get very, very attached to our 3D. So when we're doing things, inner conversating, affirming, blah, 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 for a specific person, and then we look out to the 3D and we don't see what we want, we don't see change, we start questioning ourselves, we start doubting. Now, I don't want you to take away from this that your doubts are fucking your life up. I don't want you to take away that you can't ever have a moment of doubt. Every one of us does. That's not my message. My message is this. A lot of times we are not taking a look at the fact that when we're deciding to do a technique to manifest, and then we immediately go look to see if it's here yet, you in that moment have decided to be out of the wish fulfilled and right on back to the 3D where you don't have it and aren't going to get it. But I don't mean aren't going to get it forever. I don't mean it like that. I'm saying that's the version of yourself you're choosing to be. So that's the reality you're going back to. Then you go back to your technique, you get judged again, you're good, but then you look again, okay? We want to get ourselves to the place of realizing the 3D doesn't have to control us. The 3D doesn't depend or doesn't determine whether you get your manifestation or not. The idea is to do your techniques with the knowing, oh, your person's getting it. Your person's getting that communication. Yes, they are. So when you're affirming, you're on their mind and thinking in the terms of what you were affirming. When you do inner conversations, they're getting the inner conversation. Now, of course, they're not hearing the back and forth between you two, what was just in your mind, right? But they're getting that same thought. So they're starting to think of you in the way that you're having the conversation, right? My point is this. We are all one consciousness. The instant you have the affirmation, the visual, whatever technique, but especially those inner conversations, the minute, the second that you're doing it, they're getting it. And they're getting it literally right in that moment. How the hell do I know that? Because listen, my opinion on inner conversations has always been positive. I have always believed they worked. I was not sure of time frame. I always believed that I always had some semblance of a belief that it's possible, that it's instant. And, you know, I've stepped into that. So guess what that means? If I've stepped into that belief that it's instant, then that's what it has to be, because that's what I believe to be true. But I have experienced it firsthand over and over and over again since my boyfriend has been here 24/7. Now, Don't go logical or negative right now. Don't look at this as, well, yeah, he's there all the time. Of course you're seeing it. Of course you get to see it. So you stop that thinking right now. You stop that thinking. That's going to be you too. You're going to have this same experience. Well, I mean, not identical experience, but if you're manifesting to live with your person and marry your person, you're going to have it too. So shush and just listen to the message. I cannot tell you how many times I have, and if, listen, I think I should put this in here. I am someone that is sincerely obsessed with manifestation and the law of assumption. Obsessed. Healthily obsessed, but obsessed. I love it. It is on my mind all the time. I am always playing with the law of assumption. And that is the difference between what a lot of us on the outside are actually doing. Some of us are manifesting from a place of panic, desperate need to get something. So what are we doing in those moments? Not only are we being a version of ourselves that doesn't have our shit, we're sitting in the energy of fear, which is only going to do what? Keep it away from us. See what I'm saying? You want to lighten your mood. This is why I have been continuously saying on my channel, don't overwhelm yourself. Don't stress yourself out. Let this be light and fun, because when you get more into that, like lightheartedness, knowing it's going to happen, oh my God, do you not feel better? And yes, this moves along a lot quicker. I've been the manifester who is in and out of states. 1 minute I am devastated because I'm in solo vacation, to the next minute feeling a little bit better, trusting, getting back to that place of knowing I'm going to have my manifestation, to falling right back out. I've been there. I know how upsetting that can be in that mindset, in that frame. But I'm telling you, it will change. You can relax and know your person's getting it instantly. They are thinking of you, and I can guarantee it. That's how I feel right now. I can guarantee that shit, because there has been so many occurrences over the last few months between me and my own specific person where I will, like I was just saying, I'm lighthearted. I'm always playing with this, right? I'm always doing stuff with manifestation because it's fun to me. And honestly, just like I tell all of you, the more things you experience that you know are not coincidence, the deeper your belief becomes. And the more you believe in this, the more that you can accept that this is real and it's really working, you are really manifesting your world, the better you're going to feel on the days where you're feeling doubtful, missing your person. When you have that faith and belief to fall back on, it makes it a little easier. It just does. It makes us easier, period. Now, the reason why I'm making this video, because I have shared the part about inner conversations working. You know, I've shared that. If you've been to any of my live streams, I have shared that when I was in solo vacation, I would lean on inner conversations. And when we got back together, he came back and said the things that I was saying to him in inner conversations. Just saying, okay. However, so now let's fast forward to this time. So to give a quick background, there is something that I have been manifesting, and the unfolding is, I'm experiencing it. I'm on my bridge. I know I am, comfortably. And you should all be saying that about your own damn manifestations. Say that you're in the right reality. You are in the reality. It is unfolding right before you right now. That's the mentality to have, okay? Again, makes the journey easier. It also creates an assumption and a belief, and therefore, guess what happens? It's unfolding right in front of you. But anyway, so there's been something, and I will share it fully. You're not stupid. You can hear it in the way I'm speaking on probably what it is. But I am someone that keeps that shit kind of, locked down until it's fully here. Because I listen to what I agree with Neville's advice. Why tell everybody about what you're manifesting? So in case you have any fears on the inside, if you're in that state of fear, the person you're telling could probably reflect your fear. I'm not willing to risk it. I don't want to hear it, right? So there has been something I've been actively manifesting, and I am in the midst of the unfolding, and there is a few things that we need to do to have this thing happen. And this is not us force manipulating 3D. This is the unfolding. There's a difference. Meaning there is no energy from me like, we must do this or I'm not going to get my manifestation. That's not the state I'm in. This is just a normal, logical 3D action that is, I'm not even thinking about it. It's just a step we take for that direction. Just saying. So this particular morning, I was on the couch. I get up before SP does. I'm on the couch. I'm starting my, zhuzhin. I'm starting my typical day. I'm getting into my email, checking emails, sending emails, all that type of stuff. And the thought pops up into my mind that, oh, wow, we're about to have a nice space of time for us to do blah, 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 because I had been forgetting that it needs to be done. And, it was on my mind, but, he was sleeping or so I thought he was. And then literally seconds later, he comes in front of me in the living room, and he's like, yeah, we need to do A, B, and C. We need to do that because, we're about to have this time coming up, and that would be the perfect time for us to tag. I'm sorry. I know I'm like keeping all these details, the specifics to myself, but I'll tell you everything once it's officially here. So I looked at him. I'm like, what did you just say? And he said it again. I'm like, I literally was just thinking that. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's been on my mind. It's been on my mind. And, I just felt like I needed to say it to you right now. And I'm like, listen, it could have been a minute, but it felt like seconds later that he came to me and said that and said the thing. Okay. I'm sorry. I hate when people do that. I can't tell you this, but here's a little, I know, I don't like it either. And I apologize. You will know everything, but I'm an official. Like it has to officially be in the 3D for me to share it. So it's my own rules. Nobody else has to have that rule. So I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And of course, now that, like, that was not the first occurrence this has been happening. This was like the third or fourth time this has happened. This was in like maybe the first 2 or 3 weeks of him being here. I cannot tell you how many times I'm like, okay, inner conversation between him and I, stupid shit though. Like, so this one you're going to think is just corny. I'm just trying to give you a couple of examples. This has happened so much. I can, without a shadow of a doubt, tell you that this happens nearly every other day. And please understand, this is not me experiencing like him finishing my sentences or me finishing his because we're so used to being around each other and we know how each other talks. That's not this. These are examples of, some of them I'm just thinking about him and something he and I need to do. Other examples are me playing with the law of assumption and me deliberately having an inner conversation. So I'll give you one of the deliberate inner conversation ones for you. Both of us were on the couch, right? I on my laptop. He's on his phone. He's doing he still, although, he still has to check his work emails for what it's worth. So he was checking his work emails. I'm on mine. We're not talking. We're both into what we're doing. And then, me, because I'm a smart ass, I'm like, okay, I know what I want for dinner tonight. I want my fucking taco chicken that I make. I make this delicious taco chicken. I call it taco chicken. It's not really called that, but I don't know what it's really called. Doesn't matter. So I'm like, okay, I just have to, because I am a cornball. But I hear him in inner conversation tell me how much he loves it and how he would love to have it for dinner tonight. And, I'm there. I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree. All this is back and forth in inner conversation. So he's like, babe, I love your taco chicken. I really do. I want you to make that for dinner tonight if you don't mind. So I hear him say that. I think I did it like once or twice, this inner conversation. Could you see the seriousness in my eyes? Moments later, he's like, did you take anything out for dinner tonight? And I'm like, no, not yet. And he's like, I'm like, what's the matter? He's like, oh, I don't know what it is, but I am dying for that taco chicken you made. I'm like, oh, you are? I can get the chicken out. No, don't worry. He's like, yeah, he's like, it's my favorite dish. Whatever it is you put in that, it is so good. And I'm like, Oh, I know you love that dish. I know you love it because I love it. And I had an inner conversation and you just said it. So I said to him, like, when did that come in your mind? When were you starting to think about that taco chicken? And he's like, oh, just a few minutes ago. I don't know, just a few minutes ago. He's looking at me like I'm cuckoo. I'm like, oh my God, I manifested you doing that. He's like, okay, manifuckery with Kimberly. That's what he calls me. But I did that. Okay, I'm just saying, right? I'm probably too excited about it because it happens nearly every other day. I will think a thought. And like I said, some of this is not me doing an inner conversation. It's like an unofficial affirmation. It's just right, because affirmations, we know, are just thoughts. But sometimes it's not even my intention for him to repeat something back to me. But he's on my mind, right? I'm thinking of him. And whatever it is, there's been times, like, the dinner thing has happened more than once. Like, you're gonna think we are the corniest couple, but like going out shopping has happened multiple times. Going to certain places for dinner has happened. It has happened so much that I'm like, we are connected. We are. Like, I already had that belief, but because I have that belief, what am I doing? I am getting evidence of that in my 3D because I believe that, right? That's a part of who I am being. And so the evidence is, I am overwhelmed with the evidence. I'm just going to word it like that. So what I'm trying to say, long-winded Kim later. Can you tell I'm judgy? I'm judgy today. I'm in a good mood. And because this literally, the reason why I'm making the videos, because just a few minutes ago, it happened again, but it was about dinner again. Oh my God. You guys, we do more than just eat. Just, you know. But I just get so excited by it because I know some of you out there are thinking that either right now your ego just said, well, yeah, because he's so close to you. Distance doesn't matter. Distance doesn't matter. And for what it's worth, there's been plenty of times that I have been thinking of him and wanting him to contact me, but from a place of fun, like, you know, manifestation. I'm in a good mood. Let's play around today. Let's have him text me, right? At certain times while he was at work, you know, times that he wouldn't normally contact me, and boom, he does it. So here's what I'm saying. First of all, don't get hung up on the fact that your SP hasn't taken the action yet. They will. They will. And I've used this before, but hey, every time you think of somebody and you think, oh my gosh, I got to call that person, do you instantly do it? Do you instantly take the action? No, you don't. So chill. Okay? It's real. They are thinking exactly what you're wanting them to think in that moment. Literally, you are on their mind. And again, just from coaching experience, I can't tell you how many success stories that I've received from people getting their manifestation, specifically specific persons, where their person has verbalized, you have been on my mind. You're constantly on my mind. I can't stop thinking about you. Like that in itself, I have heard that so many times, okay? So many times, because they are. It is instant. The idea here is to get yourself detached from the 3D and get yourself into the place of knowing, trusting, believing that this is going to happen. You're going to get your manifestation. Don't go logical. Don't swim in the lands of shitfucker land with logical thinking. You know, stop putting the focus that you haven't seen the movement yet. They haven't taken the action. That is not going to matter to you when that full manifestation is in your face. When you're affirming, visualizing, scripting, having an inner conversation with your specific person, they are getting it right then and there. Right then and there. But they are getting it in the context of what you're thinking. So if you're sitting back thinking, they aren't calling me, they aren't contacting me, they're not taking action, I don't think this is gonna work, I think she's not in love with me anymore, or she's finding someone new, or he's still with the third party. All this negative, logical shit. Well, they're getting that context of that thought too. They are. Let's honestly, we have to accept that. They are getting the context you're thinking in. So get your ass out of shitfucker land. Get yourself into the place of knowing who the hell you are, that you are a master manifester. You are an untouchable master manifester. You are limitless. You are flawless. And you are going to have what you want because you are now the version of yourself who has no fucking limiting beliefs around love, around relationships, or around your person. And you're going to have it. And if you're manifesting something else, good. You have no limiting beliefs around whatever subject you're manifesting in. They're all gone. They're not there anymore. You are a new self. Make that decision and stick to it because your life will change. I'm telling you, if you apply this, if you decide to be a new version of yourself, and with the repetition of you returning to that decision and not allowing yourself to consistently swim in the pools of shit, right? We are human beings. It's normal to have up and down days. It's normal for us to have a day that we're doubting. We're humans. Based on our original conditioning, it's normal as we are breaking the habit of doing it. Right? We don't have to beat ourselves up for having a shit day. But we do have to have the discipline and the determination to not sit there day after day after day after day after day after day after day. And some of you do that. So stop. Today, stop. And please get in the knowing that they are getting that instantly. It is instant. Turn away from the 3D. Stop letting a 3D that's full of crickets right now, if that's what you're experiencing, stop letting that control you. Get your mind focused on being the you that has it. And you're going to have it. It's changed my life. I've said this so many times. It's changed my life. But they get that shit instantly. They get it instantly. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.